Welcome to the bold analysis, ladies and gentlemen. Governor Wamuchomba has been emerged as a new target for the online Twitter battalion that are pro the UDA administration. And I'm seeing it is very regrettable the way I'm seeing him being profiled on and of course there are a lot of twists and turns about her position. I'm a bit skeptical, and I'm one person who has always been reserved on the genuine push. But I'm reminded that even during Uhuru Kenyatta's time, she confronted Uhuru Kenyatta at one point. Yes. And when it was just the discussion about the illicit brew was going on, at one point, until she was even locked up in jail, by that time in cell, by the time she was still in the media, and then Uhuru went and released her. Now, in the morning, before she went to Parliament, Gadano Mushomba was in Inoro. And in the interview, she spoke some few stuff that I want us to look at here, saying about how the going has been tough on her side. She's saying that some people are peddling rumors that I'm one of Azimio Umoja. I am not. I am simply on the side of truth. But whatever this involvement brings, I am ready for any eventuality. Whether they remove me from the party and send me to a by-election, I am ready. They're now discussing me in State House. I was not invited to the House Committee on Tuesday to discuss Finance Bill 2023 because of my stated position against it. She continues to say, let the truth be told. The people I represent have told me point blank that their priority is not houses proposed in the bill. She added that she felt strongly that the proposed 1.5 housing levy was just a ploy to tax Kenyans on behalf of International Monetary Fund. The president is pushing this housing levy to raise money to pay IMF loans. After taxing workers and the employers, they will build a few houses to blind Kenyans. I have been vindicated. I have said all along that this housing levy is a tax and not a fund. It is high time the president came out and told Kenyans the truth. If you are doubting the position of Gadano Muchomba, then clearly you will understand that she's a woman that has come out all out. And it is not exclusively about the finance bill, but there is a vector that she's pointing. And she's simply telling the president something that she's representing a voice. She's representing a voice of discontent with William Ruto. I know that because of this, finance bill had to be passed. And maybe before you go further, let's listen to her voice in the National Assembly during the finance bill.
For the welfare of the society and the just government of the people of Kenya, I rise to oppose. For the welfare of the people of Kenya, that qualifies them to eat well, eat a meal or 3 meals a day. That is the way to make the welfare of our people better. And for the welfare of the society and the just government of the people, it is our business as the representative of this house to make sure that our people live happily, improve their welfare, and make them feel they are sovereign according to the Constitution of Kenya. Mr. Speaker, I am elected in Githunguri constituency. My people cannot afford a meal a day. The cost of living is too high. The cost of unga is too high for them to have better welfare. Mr. Speaker, I have gone to my people in Githongori constituency, and they have told me very loudly that the government of Kenya, through the Finance Bill Proposal 2023, it is punitive, it is oppressive, and it is scandalous.
And so, she stood her position. Whatever come what come may, she stood her position and actually voted no. Looking at how the kind of the silence around her, UDA is normally very vocal. You know, Oscar Sudi, Cherargei, even Cherargei was saying, I just saw a tweet by Cherargei saying that those who voted no will face party disciplinary. I don't know how many are they. Will face party disciplinary. But she's become very lethal, that people don't want that direct confrontation with her. She's not being attacked as many will actually oppose, especially, we'll see, especially in the political front. The politicians seems to be a bit cagey on how to handle Gathoni Wamuchomba. She's out, and the jury is out there, that this issue, you might look at it as about finance bill. But how many of you are also looking at it as it is something beyond the finance bill? And I want to tell you why. Remember during the Matatu, one of the taxes is opposing there talked about the Matatu. Remember during the confrontation between Sakaja and Rigathi, President sided with Sakaja. And by that time, she was selfishly pushing the interest of some Matatu operators within Nairobi. I want to believe that it was a very selfish push at the expense of organization of the Nairobi city. So, to that, she might have seen that, okay, something is not going on right. And I want to tell you that her vigor and confidence to confront those in power is something that has a big stake. And I've always said something that we're going to look at that confidence. But I see he's a pillar that is instilling Mount Kenya conscience. At this moment, you need to listen to this video.
Kuna beshte yangu tulisoma naye college. Rafiki sana wa karibu. Tunapigaga story kama marafiki kutoka Nandi. Tulipokuwa tunaongea, kuna kitu alisema. Akaniambia, Majuis, kama kuna mtu aliexpose stupidity ya watu wa Mount Kenya, ni William Samoei Ruto. Nikacheka, ile tu ya beshte, kucheka tu mzaha. Lakini leo nilipokuwa nafikiria, nikajua kumbe ni ukweli. Tangu Ruto akuwe president, umewahi sikia Oscar Sudi akiongea? Murkomen, mwenye alikuwa anaongea kama radio ikiwa na mawe mpya, akipiga siasa, umewahi sikia akiongea? Lini mwisho ulisikia Gladys Bo Shulei akiongea? Watu wakiwa kwa dining table, ni kijiko na mdomo, ni wakati wa kukula, na wanakula kama jamii. Ukiangalia watu ambao walikuwa wanapinga Ruto Rift Valley, Isaac Ruto na Moi. Isaac Ruto alichukuliwa, akawekwa judicial, akapewa kazi ya commissioner. Moi family wakapewa ile tenda kubwa sana ya Kenya Power na William Samoei Ruto. Baada ikuja Mount Kenya, dynasty baya, semeni dynasty baya. Watu wa Mount Kenya, dynasty baya. Juzi mliona appointments za parastato. Mpaka kanisa ikalalamika kutoka juu mpaka chini, ya mune wote ni kukula, wako dining table, ni kukula tu. Alafu kuna mahali ana make sure atamaliza huko ni hao ndio wameachua kazi ya mashamba, hao ndio wanaongelea mashamba ilibiwa na nani, hao ndio wanaongea kuhusu ushuru, hao ndio wanaongea nani aliiba pesa. Siasa make sure zimebaki Mount Kenya. Akisikia Mount Kenya kama mnaanza kusema, oh, kahawa yetu sijui bei imeharibika, unasikia Unasikia Mount Kenya, pesa zilibebwa na magunia, we are truthful men. Watu Mount Kenya wakianza kusema, makadamia ilikuwa 150, sasa imerudi shilingi 10, unasikia. Sa. Unasikia hata hiyo mashamba ya Kenyatta, tutagawana, tutapewa watoto wa Maumau, mashamba ya Kenyatta, barabara, tutaenda wapi? Huko ni sa. Yani Mount Kenya umekuwa, yani kwa hakiri. Rorero kiaga hakiri fio. Na let me tell you, hii shida unaona Mount Kenya na leaders ni papa na hakuna kitu kinaendelea. Barabara ikisimama na huko kwingine zinalochua zingine na zinajengwa zingine mpya. Wanatuma Mount Kenya. Sa. Unasikia Mount Kenya pesa hakuna za kujenga barabara, pesa zilibiwa na magunia, Sa. Hiyo ndio kazi iko Mount Kenya. Na hii shida hamwezi toa. Kwa sababu
ladies and gentlemen, in short, what that gentleman is saying in that video is what exactly is happening in Mount Kenya. And the pillar, what the vector that Wamuchomba is pointing at clearly the Rigathi Gachagua and William Ruto fallout. That is the vector. And she even spoke about what that gentleman is saying in that video. She said that Mount Kenya's MPs or Mount Kenya UDA MPs have become very useless. Truth be told, William Ruto was a very strong critic and did not meet eye to eye with Gideon Moi. Now Gideon Moi, and I think I've always mentioned this in my podcasts. Now Gideon Moi has a deal with some geothermal deal. No, you will not hear anything about Gideon Moi. He left attacking Moi family. He went for the Isaac Ruto, who had been in the cold for I think like 10 years, if I'm not wrong, since losing the elections in 2000 for 5 years, since losing the elections 2017, and gave him a job, Judicial Service Commission. And he's been absorbing any Kalenjin who is viable for a job. Even Ngatia lost the Kenya National Chamber of Commerce president position to a Kalenjin guy. In Ruto has been consolidating, but then in Mount Kenya, they are the ones that are being used to say everything. It's true that they've become useless. It's true. When someone wants to say about the economy is poor, it is them. When someone wants to talk about the way Uhuru Kenyatta performed poorly, it is them. When someone wants to talk about the debts of this country, it is them. While the others are not talking. So others are feasting. Well, you are already caged because of some very cheap petty emotions. You are a prisoner of political emotions. I don't know whether I've got the right word for it. The Mount Kenya has been a prisoner of political emotions, and they cannot win out of it. And so, the reason I'm saying this vector, Wamuchomba discord, is a vector that is pointing at Rigathi Ruto fallout, is because she is instilling the Mount Kenya conscience that people just need to reason. The truth of the matter here is affordable housing is not going to be done in Kirinyaga, in Embu. Affordable housing is there's going to be zoning, because it has to make economic sense. So most it will be Nairobi, Mombasa, Nakuru, Kisumu, and some Eldoret. But those rural counties are not. And what is being done now is just redefining the problem, but not addressing it. Number two, the deep state is gathering intelligence with the position of Gathoni Wamuchomba, and it is a test to the members of parliament that, okay, even if I oppose Ruto, what is the worst that can happen? Even the MPs are now trying to find out. And that is why William Ruto has found himself in a very big dilemma. How to handle Wamuchomba. Can you eject her from the party? You cannot. And if you do that, you get to a by-election, it defeats you, the euphoria goes, and that's the end of it. That's the end of UDA. So, she's already a face of a rebellion, and she's just showing them that, you know what, it's possible. If you feel discomfort, uncomfortable, you can always say no. And honorably, there is nothing going to happen to you. That's what Wamuchomba is. That is why I'm telling you, there is a very strong vector on that fallout, because people are also seeing. You know, in full sense, let me tell you, you see the kind of mobilization around the budget is because people passed budget because of William Ruto. But 1 year to election, when the ground becomes hot, that you realize the UDA burden, the UDA incumbents is no longer viable, you see that breakup. That way you try the last budget, kila mtu anaruka, so that he walks his own path. At the end of the day, it's about politics, about interest. Lastly, and that is what I'm talking about, I'm saying this, Wamuchomba is a vector of Ruto fallout. Ruto's insiders are looking for an exit route. It's also possible that there are insiders that are looking for an exit route. And there are those around her that are also supporting, because at the end of the day, what can they do? They are also supporting Wamuchomba and even feeding, even giving her feeds about what exactly is happening. And that is why I'm saying that the Wamuchomba confronting the president, and you're just one person, you're not as a group, unlike when it was done against Uhuru Kenyatta. Unless when it was done against Uhuru Kenyatta, where it was a group, but confronting just one person, you need the guts. For you to get those guts, you must get an internal backing within the kitchen. I can tell you that Wamuchomba will be a standby, and what we'll then expect is when everything else is bad, maybe Mount Kenya has been sacked, she might become then the voice at the mountain. And the moment Rigathi realizes that, okay, someone is going to listen to what this young lady is saying, she'll also start listening to what Wamuchomba is saying. And don't forget that even Uhuru venom was planted, and the region had a disdain against Uhuru Kenyatta, who was their own. So who is William Ruto? Tell me, what is that strong connection with William Ruto? It's neither here nor there. So I'm telling you, let's wait and see. Wamuchomba is a bit untouchable, but it's a very strong force that you cannot undermine. Unlike what I'm seeing in the social media corridors of trying to attack her personality. Thank you.